Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horwitz, glad to be with you here on CBSSports.com as we pick up another edition of Ask Peter Kostis. Your questions to help you improve your golf game. 3 of them every single week, and 3 answers from Peter Kostis, of course, of CBS Sports. And our first one this week comes from Paul with a question that a lot of us would like to know. Please advise me regarding the proper way of practicing my golf at the range.
You know, warming up properly is a very important thing before you round a golf. And there's a couple rules you need to follow. Number 1, always start with your shortest club, probably the lob wedge. Then eventually work into some irons, and then finally finish off with a few drivers. And then after you've hit your driver, come back to that lob wedge to get a little bit of feel for distance, a little bit of touch back into your golf swing. That's the first rule. The second rule is always start by warming up your hands first. In other words, with the lob wedge, just learn to get the feeling of what it's like today to cock your wrists, hit the back of the golf ball properly with the hands and the club face. Warm up your hands first, then make a little bit larger swing, warming up your arms, and then finally pull the body into the golf swing. So it's always short club to long club, hands to arms to eventually body. And then once you get the sequence going properly, you're ready to go to the first tee.
All right, Peter, our second question this week, a rules question. If Ernie Els' near miss of the ball in the bunker at Bay Hill had been a complete miss, would it have been a 2-shot grounding and a hazard penalty instead of a 1-shot whiff? That from David Reynolds.
David, you know, if you stop to think about it, most of the times in the greenside bunker, you don't want to ever hit the ball anyhow. So Ernie Els would not have been penalized because actually when you play greenside bunker shots, you hit the sand carries the ball out, and on we go. But the only time you can get a penalty for grounding your club in the sand is when you actually go ahead and touch the sand with no attempt to try and make a golf swing to move the golf ball. If you want to make sure that you don't ground your club, please make sure you choke down enough on your grip, hold the club well enough above the sand that you can go ahead and make a good aggressive swing, hit the sand, never the ball. It's never going to be a 2-shot penalty.
Finally this week, Peter, the question about grip comes from David. Keeping a straight arm, it's not difficult, but keeping my grip from getting tight while keeping my arm straight, not rigid, is a problem I have. Have any suggestions?
You know, there's a right way and a wrong way to make your left arm straight in the golf swing. Number 1, you don't want to stiffen or lock it at address, and you don't want to stiffen or lock it going back. That creates a lot of tension, and that's going to reduce your swing speed. In fact, if I were to advise you to do anything, it would be to keep your left arm so soft that as you go back, it almost feels like it might even bend slightly at the top of the backswing. And there's no reason for fear of that position, because as you start down and you stay relaxed, the weight of the club head, the centrifugal force that you create, will actually give you a straighter left arm at impact, which is where it's important. Most people work so hard on keeping the arm stiff and straight going back that they actually create tension and bend the arm on the way down, and they think they've done a good job of keeping their arm straight. Don't do that. Keep it soft, keep it relaxed, let centrifugal force extend it on the forward swing.
So that'll do it for this week's edition of Ask Peter Kostis, but be sure to check back next week and every single week during the golf season, where Peter will answer 3 questions each week here on CBSSports.com. I'm Jason Horwitz. Take care, folks.